There's no way. I shouldn't even be here. As I speak, the stock market has crashed again. What is it, like 3-4 days in a row? My retirement is down to nothing. You guys want to hear something crazy? I was supposed to retire in 3 years and make that 6 years. I just lost all my retirement. The stock market, as we speak, is crashing. Maybe I should just stop this video right now and get a job. I'll go get a job at Borders Bookstore. Oh wait, they closed the Borders Bookstore. Too bad. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, haven't made any watch content for a couple weeks, and some of you were nice enough to message me and say, McMahon, where's your fresh watch content? And I don't have any fresh watch content. I have 9 watches in my collection, and I decided to take a little break, step back, and one of you guys made a pretty good comment to me. He said, McMahon, if you're buying a watch once a month, which is pretty much what I was doing, you're binging. You're in binge mode. And if you're buying a watch every 6 months, that's totally cool. And so I wanted to step back. 9 watches are in my collection. You know, I need a 10th watch like a fish needs a bicycle. That's a Gloria Steinem analogy that she made in the 70s. Why do I still remember that? I don't know. I don't need a 10th watch. Here's the other thing I want to tell you guys. I have 9 watches in my collection. I love them all. I'm not inclined to sell any of them. Here's the other thing I want to tell you about my 9 watches. I'm not a very extroverted dude. I'm pretty introverted. I don't even have the time or occasion to wear the 9 watches that I have. So, I need a 10th watch, like a fish needs a bicycle, man. First world problems, McMahon. So what else happened to you? Well, as I said, I was buying and selling too much. And the other thing that was happening is I was looking at too much social media watch content, which for many of us is a dopamine crack house. And just too much brain fog. And there's only 2 watch channels that I'm watching once a week. I'm watching Bruce Williams and Random Rob. I like them. I like their decency. I like their common sense. I like their authenticity. I like their helpfulness. And just like them. I don't look at watch videos if someone's pretentious or perky or chirpy, fast-talking, cartoon-voiced. Not really interested. I really don't want to be in the social media watch content dopamine crack house all the time. And watches for us who are addicts, watches are a form of pornography. And watch porn, like any kind of porn, over time creates brain fog. And brain fog's really bad. When I think of brain fog, I think of being in high school. Check this out, man. In high school, the basketball courts were next to this building, and alongside the building were a group of guys who we called the Burnouts, and they smoked pot 24/7. And I remember my buddy Greg Moore made an observation to me. He said, McMahon, those dudes are so burned out all the time. And by the way, Greg Moore, he was into pot here and there, but he said to me, those burnouts, they're so high all the time that when they're not high, that's their head trip. Think about that, man. And I started thinking about that because I got off of social media as it pertains to watches, and the brain fog dissipated, and that's kind of a high in itself. And as the brain fog cleared, I want to let you guys know something. Heightened appreciation for my watches, like the Citizen Grand Touring. Man, wow, I'm lucky to have something like this, honestly. And then I got a couple of monsters, a coral monster and a marine monster, and I put them both on Super Engineer. Love them. I love all my watches in my collection. And you know what, man? I've got about a half a dozen watches that I used to own, and I say to myself, man, I'd love to have those again. But honestly, what am I going to do with them? Look at them like Gollum? As I told you, I don't even have time to wear the watches that I own. So, as the brain fog cleared, I noticed I really love the 9 watches that I have. And everything I noticed is I got a lot of energy. I feel like a teenager. I wake up in the morning, I want to work out with my kettlebells, I want to play the piano, and I have the appetite of a high school football player. I mean, I eat healthy food, but man, I have an appetite. I feel really young, and I feel really appreciative of it, and I don't like brain fog, man. Brain fog is a form of lethargy, and I really don't want to go back to it, so I'm only watching Bruce Williams and Random Rob about once a week, just to keep the brain fog down. And hey man, I'm not telling you not to watch videos. To me, a little bit of eye candy's fine. I mean, a little bit of some kind of good drug is fine. If looking at a watch is a nice moderate drug for you, that's fine. You know, I drink coffee, and coffee is the most popular psychoactive drug in the history of mankind, and I drink it. But you know what? 2 cups is my limit. Yeah, after that, it's disgusting. I get anxious, I got rock gut, it's disgusting. 2 cups in the morning and I'm done. I actually heard from Michael Pollan on Terry Gross a couple weeks ago that if you drink coffee at 12 p.m. or later, it's still in your bloodstream at night, and that could contribute to insomnia. So, hey man, I get it. You're stressed out, you want to look at a little bit of watch talk, a little bit of watch content, a little distraction, that's fine, but if you have an addictive personality like me, you got to be scrupulous. You got to be diligent, because you can get sucked into the dopamine crack house pretty easily. So, having said that, you know, out of my brain fog, I started asking myself, where do I go with my YouTube channel moving forward? And I got a memo here regarding that. McMahon, you are not going to be a superstar YouTuber muscle man who wears oversized diver watches and who talks about how amazing he is. Nor are you going to be some pretentious, perky watch curator who lards watch porn on the YouTube community 24/7. So I'm reading this memo and I'm thinking, why not? I want to be the superstar YouTuber muscle man, and I do want to lard on watch porn to the YouTube community. Why not? Famous, nice cash revenue stream. What's wrong with that, man? A little narcissism? I'm not going to be a narcissist. When I think of narcissism, I used to teach these soccer players in college. This is like 30 years ago. I was a composition instructor. Pretty much the whole soccer team took my class 30 years ago. Took my composition class, and they told me something. They were on tour. Their team was on tour in Italy, and they were hanging out at the beaches. And for those of you who've never been to an Italian beach, they're nude. Yeah, they're nude beaches. And so the players told me there was this dude at the beach, this Italian dude, and he walked up and down the beach completely nude. And he was just blackened by the sun. His suntan, you know, was like 10 layers of dark tan paint over him. He had long hair, handsome dude. I think he only wore puka shells, so he wasn't totally nude. You had the puka shell situation going. And then they would see him at night at the clubs wearing a see-through white gauze tunic shirt and either a gold medallion and the puka shells. And they got to know him a little bit, and they told me he was crazy. They told me that women just, they adored him. They looked at him like a drug. And he didn't seduce any of them. He was content to be desired. That was all he needed. And he lived with his mother. And I think about that guy. So let's see, he was in his mid-30s in 1990, walking up and down the beach with no sunscreen. I wonder if he's alive today. I wonder if that's a good, happy... I don't think there was a happy ending there for the narcissist. I don't think narcissism really ends well. When I think of the successful YouTube channels that I like, there's the people who are successful, it's almost like they're not trying too... Of course they're trying to be successful, but they're not trying too hard. There's a certain authenticity. You know, I look at Unbox Therapy, and I think his name is Lou or Lewis, and I just like him. I like him, and I'm sure he spends a lot of time at his craft, and I'm sure he does a lot of video editing. But I just like, he doesn't seem like he's trying to, I want to be famous. That whiff of desperation is a turnoff. So what are the rules for my channel going forward? Well, number one, I don't want to be a dopamine crack house larding on watch porn on you 24/7. That's just not morally correct. And so I'm gonna, of course, if I have some new watch, which I don't even know if I'm gonna have one for reasons I said earlier, but sure, I would be happy to share a new watch. To me, a YouTube channel is really not about narcissism or fame. It's really an extended classroom. You should be using it to be useful, helpful, instructive. And if it's not that, then just stay home, man. Stay home. Don't even turn on your camera, McMahon, if you got nothing to say. The other thing, I'm not going to be repetitive. I don't want to rehash the same old stuff. Oh, I bought my 9th Seiko Sumo. I bought my 12th Seiko Tuna. I'm not going to be an exhibitionist of some mental car crash, some emotional dumpster fire, and feed the prurient voyeurism of the YouTube community. That's a sick symbiotic relationship. So I'm not going to rehash old stuff. It's not happening. And the other thing I want to let you know is I'm always going to tell the truth. Think about this, man. If I had a manifesto and it killed my channel, I'd say it anyway. Go with the truth. All right, ladies and gentlemen, tell me what you think. Until next time, I'm out.